What's going on, guys? Britta here, back with the Free Code Camp's colored marker project, and we are on step 86. The last thing you'll do is add a slight shadow to each marker to make them look even more realistic. The box shadow property lets you apply one or more shadows around an element. Here is the basic syntax. Box shadow, offset X, offset Y, color. Here's how the offset X and offset Y values work. Both offset X and offset Y accept number values in px and other CSS units. A positive offset X value moves the shadow right and a negative value moves it left. A positive offset Y value moves the shadow down and a negative value moves it up. If you want a value of 0 for any or both offset X and offset Y, you don't need to add a unit. Every browser understands that 0 means no change. The height and width of the shadow is determined by the height and width of the element it's applied to. You can also use an optional spread radius value to spread out the reach of the shadow. More on that later. Start by adding a simple shadow to the red marker. In the red CSS rule, add the box shadow property with the values 5 pixels. So we're going to add box shadow with the value 5 pixels for offset Y. I don't think we need that yet. 5 pixels. 5 pixels and red. Oh yeah, I see it. It's offsetting right there. Cool. Alright, as you can see, you added a simple red shadow around your marker. That's 5 pixels to the right and 5 pixels down. But what if you wanted to position your shadow on the opposite side? You can do that by using negative values. Update the values for box shadow property and set offset X to -5. And Y to -5. So -5, -5. And you can see it moved. Notice that the edges of the shadow are sharp. This is because there's optional blur radius value for the box shadow property. If a blur radius value isn't included, it defaults to 0 and produces sharp edges. The higher the value of blur radius, the greater the blurring effect is. In the green CSS rule, add the box shadow property. So let's add box shadow. 5 pixels, 5 pixels, and green for the color. Okay. 5 pixels offset X, offset Y for blur radius. So we need another 5 pixels. Oh yeah, and it blurred it. Okay. But what if you wanted to expand the shadow out further? You can do that with the optional spread radius value. Like blur radius, spread radius defaults to 0 if it isn't included. Practice by adding a 5 pixel shadow directly around the blue marker. So we need to add box shadow 0, 0, 0, 5 pixels, and blue for the color. And we see it went everywhere. Now that you're familiar with the box shadow property, you can finalize the shadow, starting with the one for the red marker. In the red CSS rule, update the values for box shadow so the offset X is 0, offset Y is 0, blur radius is 20 pixels, spread radius is 0, and the color is red. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Check the code. There we go. Next, update the color values of the red marker's box shadow property. Replace the named color with the RGBA function. Use the values RGBA 83, 14, 14, and 0.8. Okay. The shadows for your green and blue markers will have the same position, blur, and spread. The only difference will be the colors. In the green and blue CS, update the values for the box shadow property so that offset is 0, 0, 0, 20 pixels, 0, green. And then let's delete everything else. And we can copy this and just change the color to blue here. Your green CSS should have box shadow. I added an extra 0 there, guys. There we go. Alright, for the green marker's box shadow property, replace the named color with the hex color code. Use the values 3B, 7E, 20CC. Finally, for the blue marker's box shadow property, replace the named color with the HSLA function. So we're going to need to do HSLA, and then we're going to need to do 223, 59%, 31%, and 0.8. And with that, your set of colored markers is complete. Well done. Alright guys, this was a short video. I should have just kept going on the last one. But on the next episode, we'll be working on this registration form. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.